Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Solent Creatives weekly catch up every Friday. Um, this week we're going to be talking about our perception of good and evil shaped by our films, books, and video games. CEO will be joining us in a second. He's just currently having some technical problems. I think he actually commented on our stream. And yes, no problem, CEO. We'll be waiting for you. We all know we all have problems with our computers. Um, okay, so our perception of good and evil shaped by films, books, and video games. If you want to join our stream, just follow the banner below, and we can send you the link so you can join. Okay, so feels a bit awkward talking about this by myself, but I guess good and evil is shaped by films, books and video games. We all know that. Depends on your perception on it, I guess. Um, for example, if you look at some films, oh wait, CO is connected, I think. Some films depict people as evil, so it depends what we're talking about. Oh, and he's wearing a hat. Hi, CO.
Hey, how's it going? My camera is playing up.
And he deconnected again. Technical problems as always. Hello, hello. Who's that? Oh, we have new people coming in, joining in the chat. Hello, Alina Aha. Okay, hi. Thanks for joining. Um, okay. Any questions you can leave in the comment sections. Any opinions? Let me just close this window because it's getting a bit chilly. Okay. Someone is saying that it comes up as deconnected. Can someone please confirm that we're still live? Uh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So, as we were saying, good and evil shape our films, books, and video games. Films. If we're talking about animations, obviously that's basically the standard depiction of evil because that's they want to show that to teach children. But if we're talking about more mature films, about for example, Annihilation. Annihilation is a science fiction movie from 2018. It's on Netflix. That movie depicts, and CO is on, depicts people as being evil. Um, and the whole movie is a big metaphor for cancer, really. So I guess the evil in that would be the disease itself. I think CO has some major problems connecting with us today. Um, okay. No one else is joining for some reason. I can see we have 6 people watching. Does no one want to join? Talk about this? No?
It's gonna work, is it?
I don't think we're gonna get to see you today, CO.
Oh God, this is so. And I've put my hat on, which is so annoying. Can you actually hear me?
I can hear you. I cannot see you. I could see you for a split second, but that was it.
The funniest part is this thing keeps saying I don't have a camera. You looks like your camera was unplugged. Try plug it in again. I'm like, oh, it's a laptop camera.
If you have a laptop that has a function button that will turn off the camera,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that
Peace
might
is
be the
coming.
one. I just woke up, Robbie. Not gonna be on today. No, she's not coming today.
I don't think today's topic is gonna be very well perceived due to the
Well,
fact we're having. Let's see.
we can talk about it between us. So far, I know if you probably haven't seen it. I've spoken about some films depicting people as evil
Hmm.
and animations for children which depict evil as a standard evil, really.
And I was
that we don't
reading,
know.
I was thinking about different formats, like you said in books, and sometimes like evil is depicted as a non-material thing. It's not necessarily something or someone. It's like that kind of, at least in books, it's that sense of inevitable ending, if that makes sense. Like I'm reading at the moment a book by Jojo Moyes.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name properly, the surname at least. It's called Me Before You, and the part, like I'm like in the movie where you can see obviously what things are happening in almost in the book. Like you get a better understanding of the ending that's gonna happen, because you see how they kind of build up a very positive and growing kind of relationship between the main protagonist, and then towards the end, I'm not gonna spoil it, but basically he dies, which is
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
I decided to just kind of you know explain the
well,
whole situation. Why I think
if anyone is at the middle of reading
now
this
it
book,
came out in 2016. I'm sure people have seen the film and they've watched it, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But the issue with that is like obviously you don't. Can you talk about Harry Potter and how they depict evil versus good? How unfair they treat evil.
how unfair they treat evil.
I would love to hear what you have to add on that, Alina, because it's interesting to to see where you're going with this question.
Are
Well,
you a
I'm
big
trying.
fan of Harry Potter, Theo?
Yeah, yeah. I've actually
Okay.
read every book at least 7 times in Bulgarian, which is very odd.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I remember that getting the first one. Now that we're talking about books, I got the first one when I was 14, I think, and I read it in
Wow. So
about.
that was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, thanks.
No,
Guys,
I'm
don't do
kidding.
the maths. It's not gonna do any
But yeah, how
justice.
unfair they treat evil. Um,
I think
that's an interesting one. Is evil treated unfairly in Harry Potter?
I think it's maybe misrepresenting like Slytherin and all the characters who actually at certain point throughout the book have helped the protagonist, aka Harry and his
True,
friends.
true.
And obviously you then have all the professors that were teaching defense against the dark arts and stuff like that. So they've always had like, apart from Lupin and I forgot the guy from the first book, they've always been think about Draco and how they marginalize him, making fun of him and oppressed to that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a fair comment. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of the character, because even in the books, like I don't think I just didn't he didn't appeal to me as a character. But
True that.
it's
That is true. That is true. They do award Harry points every time he just comes up on screen, really. And yeah, it would be a philosophical really this one. If you think about it, the hat in Harry Potter decides who goes where, right? That hat just oh, we can see Theo.
I've
Uh,
realized it's probably my antivirus for some reason. I need to look into that. Hi guys. Oh.
okay, so yeah, the hat basically. I can't believe we're talking about Harry Potter, but still, uh, the hat is basically deciding who goes where
The
based
Sorting
on their
Hat, yeah.
characteristics, on their personality. So if they were pure evil, they wouldn't be in Hogwarts, right? So the hat would say like, "Oh, this
Yeah,
is
I
evil.
guess.
You're
I
not
mean,
going anywhere."
it's
It's more like
interesting,
you're overconfident. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're going Slytherin, but
but
then
it's
everyone in Slytherin is being, as Alina said, marginalized and oppressed. So they don't all turn out evil. So it's a
I
bit like
I think that has a deeper meaning in terms of like obviously they link Slytherin with what the house represents, and obviously who have come out of the house, like obviously Draco Malfoy. Then you have the his family, and then you have the one who must not be named and stuff like that. So you always link it in Salazar Slytherin, obviously the founder of the house as well, and they've always been linked with certain qualities that I think within the Harry Potter world are linked with Death Eaters and the bad side of things. So
yeah.
it's quite interesting.
Same with Hufflepuff, though. Hufflepuff represents the shy, timid part of
Yeah,
the
but
wizard world, and no one really bothers them. They don't. They're just there.
if you think throughout the rest of the books, I think who was So there was a Quidditch player who was from Hufflepuff. Played by what's his name?
Oh, the guy that
Robert
played
Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson. He was from Hufflepuff.
yeah,
I
yeah.
keep forgetting what's the name of the character. And
And
then you
he was
have
quite a star in the movie, but then again, he only had a few lines in the whole movie.
yeah, but that I think that led him to Twilight anyway. So one thing brings to
Yeah,
another.
fair enough. Yeah.
But to go back to the main topic, I think like video games is for me it's a bit more visual. So obviously you always see what you're dealing with. That guy from Twilight. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Twilight. Thanks, Alina, for being very
active
active with
today.
us today. Yeah, we do need more of that. Yeah, video games. I don't. I don't think we could really. I don't think we should really consider video games as a fair representation of evil and good because that's not really their point. It's more of a visual thing, more of a. Um, I don't think the story, the way evil is depicted in video games, is actually the way it should be treated. If that makes sense. For example, in God of War, evil is gods. um, I don't know. You can
No,
take
but I
any.
think that you mentioned God of War. Like, I haven't played the whole game. I've watched a bit of the gameplay, but I think the whole issue is because obviously his wife died or was killed. I don't quite remember. And his journey to
He
try
has.
and
I don't think people could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has to kill his wife and. Uh,
Peace might be able to fill us on that if she's still watching. And then I think with visual arts is obviously depicting something that is evil is more clearly visible.
hmm,
It's out there. Well, with books, like you need to kind of build an image in your head. That's what I like about it. And films is the same. Like everything is, it's almost like visual arts, whether it's a film or a video game. It's almost pretty straightforward. With books, I personally prefer it because it lets you create that image in your head. Nobody kind of you know molds it and makes it for you. While with those visual with graphics, it's more like here it is. That's what it is, and
yeah,
it kind of limits your imagination how you wanna see it. And also sometimes the qualities that they put in those characters have not been mentioned before elsewhere, or you don't see that when you read the book or something like that. So yeah, that's what I think in general.
yeah. That's why mainly people are usually disappointed by movies after reading the books because they have their own image of how the character should look like, and then they see the movie and they're like, oh, this doesn't look like I wanted it to look. You
Mm.
know. So to be fair, Harry Potter looked pretty much spot on, like I imagined him when I was like 10 and reading the book or something. So fair enough.
Okay,
Are
let's
you
see.
responding to any of the comments or?
No, I'm just having a look to see who is online. It's
Ah,
pretty
okay.
quiet today.
I know. It's a quiet Friday. It's a quiet
Yeah,
Friday. It's
that's why
pretty.
the topics.
It's pretty sunny outside as well in Southampton.
I think now that we're talking about the weather, I think it's gonna be quite good weather. Um, so yeah, should be good to go out for a bit of sunbathing now
Well,
that we're allowed to.
if we're still talking about films, books, and video games, anything good you've seen recently? I was talking about Annihilation, a 2018 movie, that is a big metaphor for cancer, basically.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, if you've seen, oh, that's better. You can actually see more of.
That was the whole point. I've just realized you haven't set it
Yeah,
up properly.
sorry,
That's okay.
I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to
No, it's fine. I'm here.
that. But yeah, Annihilation is a big metaphor about cancer. The whole movie is a science fiction movie. About um, there's something like aliens mutating genes, blah 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 blah. But it's actually the whole movie is about cancer in women, actually specifically because the main protagonist, the team, is fully women based, which is
Oh,
quite
that's
nice actually.
interesting.
It's a quite nice movie. You watch it, and I guess what they wanted to do is make people understand a few things uh, about cancer and the the problems that come with it, um, even though they haven't been through it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you made a really good point, which I agree with. I think sometimes people think that creating a bad character or evil character or somebody who represents the dark side is
Yeah.
only an obstacle for the main protagonist. Well, I think, those characters can be used quite nicely in the sense of, informing and teaching something the viewer. But also, another point to add to that is that a lot of these characters are not, just plain. They're very dimensional. How are you keeping creative during like, hey Ali, oh look, we have a message. I'll finish that and I'll put it on the display. Um, yeah, so like I think those characters are as complex as the main, main protagonists, and we don't give them enough credit because they fit into the main topic quite a lot. And
Mm.
without them, the films or the games or whatever format you're referring to won't be the same. Now, Alice put the question, hey honey, how's
Hey,
things?
Alia.
Hey
How are you
guys, how are
keeping
you
creative?
creating during lockdown? I think we discussed that in one of our first catch ups, and we briefly mentioned basically the stuff that you can still practice your creative skills on a smaller scale, like as long as you push yourself to do things. We mentioned like you can use, for example, in film, you can use footage that you've done, or you can film something at home, practice your
Dean
post
Macy mentioned
production.
that as well. Dean Macy
Yeah,
mentioned that last week in our
true.
webinar with him.
So that's one way to do it. Obviously, learning new skills as well. That's, I
Yeah.
think, the best time. I personally have no patience or nerves to sit down and do another online class. I did something, and then 5 minutes after, I got bored. I think it's just because we spend so much time at home. It wasn't really the right thing for me. But there's options as well, and you can have like online meetups with other people. Just can kind of get ideas or collaborate on things together.
Yeah, I
Because
think
there's
keeping social in these times is most important for our mental health and everything. But yeah, if you're Alia, for those of you who don't know, Alia is a videographer. So you could revisit old footage, as Dean Macy said, re-edit them to different music, try to give them different feels, play around with them. He also mentioned, Dean Macy mentioned in our podcast interview that he used to take footage from London of the protests and just put different music to it, happy, sad music. And at some point he put like I think Barbie Girl, and it seemed like everyone was having a party. So yeah, just play around with footage, practice your editing. Um, if you're a musician like me, I'm mainly a singer, but I've started revisiting guitar skills and ukulele skills. Hi, Andre. Thanks for joining. Um, yeah, so I started revisiting my old skills on instruments. You know, I wish I could learn a new instrument like violin in this
I can
time, but
I
I don't.
can't
I don't think
imagine
the
you.
cor-
Yeah.
I don't think the quarantine is long enough for that. I think I need more than a few months for that.
Well, at least you have a really good basics. It's not anything.
Yeah,
Look at the comment.
that that's that's a ukulele. Thank you, Andre. Thank you. It's a four-string ukulele, electroacoustic one. Uh, yeah. So I guess you could keep creative during lockdown, definitely, especially if you're in your edit side of things, edit side of the sector, the media sector.
I just realized we are playing the wrong banner and you didn't say anything.
Oh, I okay. So just so people are aware, CEO texted me 3 minutes before to start the broadcast because he's restarting his computer. So I just joined in and just clicked on things and it started. So
I have to
I'm
say that.
sorry it wasn't up to your standards, CEO.
No, it's fine. I think this catch up probably I'll rename it as the confused one because everything was going wrong until 10 minutes passed. I was like, okay, we got it at the end here. So
Anyway, so we got that covered. Creative during lockdown.
yeah, I think.
We
Okay.
haven't had Alia on our stream before, have we?
No, I don't know if she wants to join. I've been learning how to skateboard. Wait, let
And
me just. I'll
inside.
send.
how how do you have a treadmill you skateboard on, or how do you do it inside?
Well, obviously not inside. Don't be silly. I probably she's gone out on her own, like inside.
Yeah, but you're only allowed like a certain time anyway.
Let me just message her quickly.
Okay, when this is over, I want to see Alia's skateboarding skills.
I've sent her the link. Alia, if you're watching, I've sent you a link. If you're present, that we can kind of add you to the studio if you want to join us live. And that applies to everybody else who's watching or reviewing this.
Yeah, Alina, Andre,
And I think we got a like from Katie as well.
I
I
have a
have a
garden.
garden. Oh,
Oh
lucky
wow, that's
you.
a pretty good garden. Fair enough. I know I used to skateboard when I was 11, but I only did it for like a few months. So
Hey, Katie. How's it going?
hey,
Um,
KD.
I was gonna say, we, Robbie, I think this is the perfect time to mention. Robbie, what's up with the mug? Is the office still there?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So I have a mug with my face on it. Um, I am like that. I don't know. It's not really much explaining that goes into it. It's just a mug with my face. uh, good spotting there, Alina. Good spotting.
What I
And
was gonna say.
oh yeah, we moved our office. If you're talking about the office next to, you want to
No,
cover that?
no. I wanted to talk about the next Q&A because obviously we have another Q&A going and taking place soon, don't we? So it's
Yeah,
perfect time to kind of mention to people
yeah,
who
true.
want to
So
join.
next week we're having. So last week we had Dean Macy, who's a camera op edit at Sky News. He's a 2017 graduate. We talked a little bit about videography and what goes into it, and he gave us a few points on how to get into the industry, how you could potentially get into Sky News and things like that. So give it a watch. It's on our page. Next week we're having Esti Boland. Esti is a first year in graphic design. She just switched from prosthetics and video, is it special effects?
Yeah,
Prosthetics and
I
special
don't
effects.
remember it. I'm really bad at that. Sorry.
So she did 1 year of that. Then she moved to graphic design. Currently, she's doing miniatures, and basically she's doing the molds, the painting, everything for RuneScape. For those of you who know about it, RuneScape is an older game that came out.
Web-based game. Yeah, so you can play it through your
Oh,
browser.
are you a fan of that?
I used to play it a bit when I was younger. Can I say that? But not anymore. But the thing is, what's interesting with Esti is that obviously she's in her first year and she's already developed a business that's giving her quite a fair amount of money to support herself. And it, I think it's interesting to get some insight on how creative skills can be transferred in such a, I want to call it a commodity, because obviously the thing that she creates she can then sell and earn money out of it. And how other people basically can benefit and maybe get inspired to do something for themselves, because as you guys know, we have the business startup funding as well, and you're entitled to apply for one of those sessions whenever you want, up to 3 years after you graduate. So some people come up with a really clear business plan very early stage of their education, others come back after they graduate. So there is quite a lot of, oh, we have a present for
Hi,
Claire.
Claire.
Yeah,
That's
hi
a
Claire. I think that was
uh,
a present, wasn't it? A
yeah,
little
yeah.
present.
There was
Yeah.
a gift. Thank you for the gift,
Thanks.
Claire.
um but yeah, it's important just to kind of see other people's way through university and just really get what their formula for success is, because I think obviously it's different from person to person. Hi Claire. And we just want you to have that conversation with the student, and also kind of exchange ideas and really create a clear sense of community within Solent, especially now that we are outside of the campus and we can't
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
see each other face to face.
Yeah, especially because SD, as CEO said, she was on the business startup funding panel, and she was funded by can I say by us, or should I say by uni?
Well, by us, you mean by you, Solent University, because that's
Yeah,
where the
so it's
funding comes
basically
from.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so yeah, so she was funded by us to start her business as she's only in first year. So contrary to popular belief, we do fund first years. Um, so come in, see what made her special, what idea made her get the funding, and her business is quite successful actually. She's got a lot of a lot of orders and everything really. RuneScape is not. I wouldn't say is it's a very big game. I wouldn't say it's like I don't know World of Warcraft or anything. But she got the attention of the whole community as you know small as it would be. So that's quite interesting. That's really good.
I think it's niche, but it's it's so popular within that community that it allowed her to create something small and turn it into a profitable little business for her. And especially if you're a student at that time, I think you can make quite few bucks out of it. Plus, RuneScape is something that people know of one way or another, so she can kind of harvest on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
So yeah,
we'll have.
next week, ST Boland, 12 o'clock Friday as usual. We're gonna release a podcast with her as well, as the same way we did with Dean Macy.
Ooh.
So, um, should we release that in the weekend or on Monday, CEO? What do you think?
Uh, Either way. Well, basically, you're finishing it, so you need to have the final saying, I think.
Well, could be either,
Mhm.
but
Oh,
still,
well,
yes,
watch the space.
definitely watch this space.
And there is already one that I think it's live with Dean Mace, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
our that's on our YouTube channel. So feel free to have a look. And with this being said, any final words, Robbie?
Um, not really. I mean, this was quite a short one. No one wanted
Yeah,
to
I don't
join.
think
This
it worked
this
out
week it was
as
only
good
us.
as yeah. Last week it was much better, but it's fine. We need those times anyway. So next week we'll come back stronger again.
Hmm.
Maybe
Right.
there'll be more to discuss as well. You never know.
Well, thanks for everyone who joined anyway. Hopefully we're gonna see more people joining in the comments section or on screen with SD to ask her some questions. Uh, and yeah, I guess have a nice weekend, everyone.
Have a lovely weekend. Make sure you get out because I think the weather is going to be quite nice. Today is going to
It's
be 18
warm.
degrees,
It's
so
warm.
it should be okay to kind of go. And now that we're allowed to at least go out and sit in the park for a bit, and remember, keep social
Keep,
distancing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look at Claire's. Yeah, that kind of summarizes everything.
Woo!
Ta-ta-da. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye.